Welcome to our 2022 Pioneer 171 SS. Starting right in your back bumper here, if you just kind of reach in, pull that cap on out of there. Inside of the back bumper, you're going to find your sewer hose. Take note of those two ears in the adapter here. It's all be hooking it up to your sewer system, and the hose itself, once fully extended, is about 20 feet long. Just keeping it stored in the bumper back here to help keep any sort of stench out of the unit, keep things a bit fresher. Down from there in this corner, as well as each corner of the trailer, you're going to find these stabilizer jacks here. All they do is they run down, contact the ground, give it another turn or so just to firm it up, and that'll get rid of any sort of bounce or sway that you see got in the unit right now, just to keep things firm while you're out camping. Straight up from there is your power cord inlet. So as you pop this open, there's a little notch in the bottom corner there. It's going to line up with this notch here. Press those in together, little 8th turn to lock it down, then you get the threaded collar in the back there to properly lock it into place. As you follow the cord back, you're going to find a standard 30 amp end. Most campsites will have that. You can plug straight on in and you're good to go. We do also provide you with a 15 amp adapter, so if you're looking to plug in at home to charge your batteries or run your fridge, you got the power to do so. A couple of steps forward and we get your sewer outlet system here. So you get that cap, you just kind of press on it and give it a turn. It'll pop on out of here. Then you see it's got the same ears on it that your sewer hose had. It'll attach the same way, just kind of turning it until it locks in. On the left's a gray valve, on the right's a black. Black valve's controlling your black tank. Black tank is filtering your toilet. Of course, it's going to be your dirtiest water, so we'll dump that first. Once that's done, you can then come to the gray. Gray tank is going to be filtering your sinks as well as your shower. Typically cleaner water, we'll dump that last to help keep that sewer hose as clean as possible. Towards the front of the units here, you got your hot water tank here. So you just get that keyway, you're going to line that up, and then you can pop it on open. All your controls for turning this guy on are just inside the unit. Before we turn it on though, we just want to hit this relief valve right there. Make sure that shot of water comes out. If you're not getting that water coming out of there, there is a chance that it's empty and you do run the risk of burning out your elements. So you just want to make sure it's full before firing it up. Once you're done, just open it back down, lock it with the keyway. Head from there, we get your fresh water inlet. So pop that cap on out of here. Your water hose is stick into there. Turn on the water and that'll fill up your freshwater tank. You know that tank is full once it starts spitting water out of that vent right there. Down underneath, it's your city water connection. It's the same water hose will plug into here, turn on the water, and that'll pressurize the lines throughout the unit. Straight down underneath the unit from there, we've got your low point drains. They've got the two valves pointing forward. Just open those up, allows the water system to drain itself out. And then the one in the back there that you can see is dripping, that's your freshwater tank drain. You just open it up, allows the tank to drain itself out. The storage compartment here, as you open that up, you get the little finger on the left side there, holds it open for you. This customer's opted to go with the weight distribution hits. We just got that stored in here for him. Right beside that's your water hose. Inside of the water hose, you're going to find your park adapter. So your 30 amp cord to there, 15 to a standard outlet. Around front of the unit, we get your battery box here. Battery's housed inside of there, of course, as long as you're plugged into a short cord in the back or your 7-pin to your tow vehicle, that battery will be charging for you. Underneath this cover here is your propane tank. So if we just kind of reach up the back here, you can get access to that valve there and we can turn that to open it up. Okay. In the front's your standard tongue jack, one way's up, other way's down. Other end of your storage compartment here, so same sort of finger latch, just holds it open for you straight through to the other side. You do have your little manual override jack right there for running all of your stabilizers. Exhaust for your furnace is right beside the door here. It does get hot, so you just want to make sure it's not blocked off if you're ever running it. GFI protected outlet. Fridge vent here, so nothing really back there for you to worry about, pretty much just for service and venting. And then in the back of the unit, you get your spare tire. Right beside it, on this side here, is your cable and satellite inlet. Coax cable plugs into there, fires up at your TV location. And then straight up in the top and center, you get your pre-wired mount for a rear view or observation camera. Now we'll make our way inside of the unit. Your door just opens up here. It is on that gas strut, so it holds it at 90 degrees. Then you can grab your step, pull it straight out, flip that last step over, and we can make our way inside. First things first, right on the right there, you get your fire extinguisher. That's standard. Pull the pin, point, and shoot. See, the customer's also opted to go with the generator, so we just got that stored in here for them as well. Across the wall from there on the other side here, we get all your interior lights. They're just on that one right-hand switch there. One on the left is your awning light outside. Awning itself is on this switch here. Press and hold extend, and that awning will make its way out. Once that awning's fully extended, we're going to see a little black flap come down as well as the black of the metal tube. Once you see that, you're going to stop. If you're to continue extending, it can actually wind itself up backwards, in which case your fabric would be underneath the tube, allowing it to hold water, accelerating the growth of mold and mildew. Awning is just a little bit sticky today, so we'll just come back and it should come down. There we go. There's a tube and we'll stop right there. Now if it were to start raining, it's of course going to hold some water anyways. What you're going to do is grab either arm, front or rear. You're just going to pull straight down on it. And you can see that changes the pitch of the awning out at the head, allowing water to then run off. Now if you like that angle better, you can do the same thing with the arm up front. Before you bring it back in though, you just want to make sure those guys are back out straight and fully extended, just so you're not running the risk of bending them. Then you can press and hold the track and the awning will make its way back in. Again, you're just watching to make sure that your fabric stays over top of the tube. And the last thing to keep in mind with your awning is it does catch a lot of wind. So once you get up to about 15-20 kilometers an hour wind, you want to bring it back in. Again, just so you're not running the risk of bending your arms. All right. So if we come down to the back here, got your slide out switches right up on the wall here. You're gonna press and hold out. The slide will make its way out. Once that slide's fully extended, we're just gonna hear a couple of whines from the motors and then they'll turn themselves off. Those lines are just squaring itself up. Just like that there. And then right above the slide, there's these two little lights there, just on their own center switches to turn them on. Smoke detectors over here as well. Right. If you pick up your bed, you do have a little compartment here that you can open up kind of for storage there. Little reading light up top there, and just open storage across the top here. You do have a TV backer up in the wall here, so you have your outlet for it as well as your antenna outlet. Turning that antenna on is just this little black button back there, turns on that green light letting you know it is turned on. Closet space there is just wide open. Power outlet as well as a USB outlet down there as well. This little access panel there just gives you access to any sort of electrical connections for your awning. Nothing really there for you to worry about. In the kitchen here, you have your microwave right up top. In lieu of a stove vent, we've got your roof vent right here. So you're just going to open that up, turn on your fan. So that way if you got any sort of, smoke or steam or just the propane fumes coming off your stove, you can be evacuating them out through here. For the stove itself, you're going to turn the knob over to high, grab a lighter. Simple as that. Once you're done, just turning it back off. There's a little drawer underneath it, as well as your furnace. So with your furnace here, it is just outletting right there. There is no ducting to it. That's pretty much it. Once we fire it up, down in the bottom left corner, you'll be able to see the little flame once it gets going. Little storage up top here. Inside of there, you're going to find that pouch. It's got all of your owner's manuals, any remotes, anything like that. You're going to find right in there. There's a little light down here as well. Hot and cold water at the sink, as well as a bit of storage underneath it. Just being mindful of your drains and your propane line there. The fridge is 12 volts, so as long as your fridge is 120 volts. So you got your power button on the left there. With it running on auto, it's first looking for AC power. If AC power is taken away, it'll automatically flip over to gas. If you're out boondocking and you want it to run solely on gas, you're gonna have that button come out over flush and it'll run just on gas. If that check light there were to come on, it's just letting you know it hasn't fired up. At that point, just off and back on to reset it. So that's your freezer up top and your fridge down below. Temp selection is just in the top right corner there. Underneath your fridge is your converter. Press the top and center, it'll pop on open. You get all of your breakers in the middle there. Whenever a breaker breaks, it sits in the center, so just turn it off and then back on to reset it. All of your fuses are on the right side here. Whenever a fuse pops, you get a little red LED right beside it, letting you know exactly which one went. Right around the corner from there is that slide out switch that we went through already. Then you've got your thermostat beside it. So this operates just your furnace. You got that slider all the way over to the left. That's it turned off. As we move it to the right, you'll hear it click. All the way over on the right, it's going to be max heat. Anywhere kind of in between there is going to be your temp selection. You get your readout down in the bottom. So we'll come to the furnace now, and if we look in the bottom left corner, you'll be able to see that little blue glow once it gets going. Right, there you see it. Once you're done, that slider all the way over back to the left, you'll hear it click again, and that's it then turned off. Straight down the wall from there is your LP detector. Propane's heavier than air, sits on the floor. That guy detects it and starts going off just like a smoke detector would. Through the door into the bathroom now. Inside of here, up on the left side, you got your light switches there. This one on the left is your ceiling fan, the one on the right is your light. Same idea here at your ceiling vent. You just get that little knob to turn it up. Toilet flips on open, you get your flusher on the right side there. Kind of up beside it, you get this little storage cubby. Inside of there, you're going to find that little chemical sample. Basically, just going to take that and pour it down your toilet after your first few uses. It'll just help break down and degrade anything that's in there and give it a nicer smell. GFI protected outlets. If you ever have outlets that don't work, it's the first thing you're going to check. Test on the left, reset in the center. Right. Up above that, you get your monitor systems. On top left there, you have battery. You can see we're currently 12.3, which is a charging voltage, so that's good. Your fresh tank, as you fill that up, will go to a third, 2/3, and full. Same idea for your black and your gray tanks. Your water pump switch is in the top right. You turn that switch on, it turns on your water pump, drawing out of your fresh tank to pressurize your lines. Water heater on gas is right in the center there. You turn that switch on, you get that red light letting you know the ignition sequence will start. Once that light's gone out, that sequence is started. It's going to try that 3 times. If after the 3rd try it hasn't fired up, this light's going to come on and stay on. At that point, you'll just turn it off and back on to reset it. That right here, you can kind of hear the whir of the flames. We know that tank is good. Water heater and electricity in the bottom there. Turn it on, fires up electricity, simple as that. Hot and cold water at the sink, and then in the shower, you get your little tub there. Hot and cold water, of course, standard head and hose. Your little black curtain here as well. In the back of the unit, you've got a little bit of storage here. Power outlet there, as well as a USB outlet. And your TV backer here as well. In the dinette, you can see you've currently got it set up as the dinette. If you're to take your table, wiggle it up and out of its legs, the legs will then wiggle out of their bases. The table will then sit onto these 2 ledges here. You'll take your back cushions to fill in the center, and that'll create your bed. The red handle here signifies an emergency exit, so you pull that down, open it wide open with the screen, and then you can hop on out through there. Same emergency exit for this window here. Your couch here is, of course, set up as the couch. You can take this middle one, fold it down. There's kind of your cup holders. That guy just presses on in there. You can also take the base, fold it down, create a bed. This top piece here also folds over. And then right in the back here is a couple little bed foams. Pull that up there for you. There you go. Those will just sit down to get another little bunk space. There is 2 back there. And really, the last thing here is going to be your air conditioner. So you get your control right in the front here. You have low fan, and then low fan again, and then high fan. And after high fan, it'll come into low cool. And then after low cool, you have high cool. So of course, low cool and high cool, the difference being what speed your fan's running at. In the back there, you have temp selection. Notice that it does have heat. We do not have a heat pump installed. We've got a dedicated furnace. Typically, you're just going to be leaving that in max cool. The 2 little louvers there, you can kind of open them or close them. Just kind of choose them whether you're shooting your air forward or back. And just kind of a little tip for when you are running that furnace. If you're looking to help move that air forward and back, you can take this fan here, just run it on low or high, and that'll just help move that air forward and back. So that's about it for this unit. If you've got any other questions on it, please feel free to give us a call, 204-237-7272.